Tennessee Titans fans, it is that time of the week where we hop on Reddit and see what Tennessee Titans fans are saying about things going on with the organization. We are about a month away, actually less than a month now away. No, about a month away from the NFL draft. So things are heating up. We are checking out posts from the Tennessee Titans Reddit page and a few from the Two Tone Talk Reddit page. Link to that in the video description below. Go over there and join that community. Submit your questions, comments, memes, and they will get read here on this segment every week. Here's a few posts from Two Tone Talk, as this user said, Titans fans doing mock drafts. And of course it says, okay, smart guy, let's see you take a crack at it. Yes, there are a lot of mock drafts, not just Titans fans, NFL fans in general. I mean, people are just wearing out the mock drafts. I've done them. I think I posted one of mine, but there's just so many by now, and most of them are saying the same things these days. But yes, a lot of mock drafts that surface, especially over on X. And speaking of those mock drafts, a couple of people have submitted their mock drafts for me to check out. This person said, what do you think, Brad and friends? This person, evidently by their username, has some significant feelings for Donkey Kong. So this user obviously traded back and traded back with the Raiders. So I don't know why the Raiders would be wanting to trade up at this point since they made the trade for Geno Smith. But the Titans trade back to 6. They get Shedeur Sanders at 6. I don't think he's going to fall that far. But I do. Now, I've done mock drafts on this website, and for some reason, they have Mike Green, the edge rusher from Marshall, falling way further than I think he's going to. Luther Burden as well. A lot of people think Luther Burden or the receiver from Ohio State is still going to be there at 35. I'm not convinced. I'm also regarding Shedeur, I don't think the Titans would trade back to 6 because I don't think the Raiders are going to be very aggressive in trying to trade up now that they have Geno. But regarding Shedeur, my stomach's growling. I'm sorry if you hear that. I have not ruled out the Titans drafting Shedeur Sanders just yet. I think Cam Ward's a lot more likely, but I mean, if the Browns really wanted Cam and they call and they offer a ton to move up a spot to get him and you go back to 2, and you take Shedeur? I mean, listen, it's not the craziest thing. Here's another mock draft on the Two Tone Talk page. And this one obviously has Cam Ward going first overall. Trey Harris from Ole Miss, the wide receiver. That's somebody that I've seen a lot of people liking as an option with the Titans. Jack Sawyer, the edge rusher from Ohio State. I did like him, but I feel like he had a bad combine. Looking at the rest of these picks, obviously you take 2 wide receivers there, couple edge rushers, and then I would not mind taking a swing at Malachi Moore, the safety from Alabama. I watched a lot of him because I'm from Alabama, and so I watch a lot of Alabama games. Malachi Moore, feisty fella. He's a feisty fella. But maybe the Titans need some of that. Now we're going over to the Tennessee Titans page. This user said, Tyler Rowland is currently on Twitter calling Steve McNair a mid-level game manager. Okay, so I see y'all coming for Tyler. I have to take some of the responsibility for this because I kind of ooped that up there. I kind of gave him the alley-oop because it was my post that he was sharing to make the point that he was making. I did a whole video about this, so I won't delve into it too much. I made a post yesterday on X just trying to explain that should the Titans draft Cam Ward, a lot of people are comparing him to Steve McNair. I simply got on X and said I want him to be better than Steve McNair. I want him to be, because Steve McNair, it's been over 20 years since Steve played. Steve played in a much different league than the league we have today. I don't just want our guy to be better than Steve. I want him to be better than everybody. Everybody's out there saying we want him to be the next Steve McNair. Listen, there are some attributes that Steve had that I would love for Cam Ward or whoever we draft to have. But I want him to be better. I want him to be better than Tom Brady. I want him to be better than Peyton Manning. I want him to be better than Patrick Mahomes. I want him to be the greatest quarterback of all time. Okay, that was all I was trying to say. Tyler took it and made a post of his own about it, and a lot of people are getting on him about it. My goodness. Sorry about that, Tyler. I didn't know I was going to get you in so much trouble. This user brings attention to the fact that Jack Gibbons has signed with the Patriots. I mean, was that not the most predictable thing ever? The only thing that's surprising to me about free agency to this moment is that the Patriots didn't sign Nick Westbrook-Akine. and I'm sure they tried. Um, Jack Gibbons goes to New England. Jack Gibbons is a good player. It just, I saw somebody on X say this about Mike Vrabel, and I agree. Mike Vrabel is never going to beat the accusations that he has his guys that he likes. He's all about loyalty, and he would rather get guys that he can coach than to just get the best guys. This was one of my major complaints about Vrabel when he was the coach of the Titans. A lot of things that Vrabel did well, but one of the things that drove me up the wall was that he would rather take a practice squad guy and coach him and get him to a place where they can play in a game than to just go out and sign the best players. Vrabel was all about taking a guy from the bottom and trying to make him a respectable player. And that's great. I love the stories like Nick Westbrook-Akine and Jack Gibbons. We all love to see those kind of things happen. But sometimes when you sign Julio Jones, you don't have to bring him in and stand him on this. Now, I know Julio was hurt a lot because he's Julio, but you don't have to get him to share reps with Nick Westbrook-Akine in 2021. When you go out and you sign, whoever at whatever position, you don't have to try to find ways to get your handpicked guys from the practice squad that you like in the game. That was one of my complaints about Vrabel. And Jack Gibbons is a good player. I'm not going to say that he's not going to contribute for New England. But Vrabel, with a lot of the moves that he's made, both on his staff and players they've signed, it just screams these are Vrabel's guys that he likes that are going to go out there and, be respectable. Speaking of respect, this user said, respect to Will Levis. Good or bad, the guy played hard for us, put more heart on the field than a lot of other guys to try being an NFL quarterback. And for that, respect. You know what? I agree. It didn't work out with Will. I mean, I presume the whole Will Levis thing's over. I think there's a good chance the Titans could trade him. But I don't feel like it didn't work out because of lack of heart or lack of effort. You're told in life that just work hard and give it all you got and good things will happen. And a lot of times that's true, but sometimes you can work hard and give it all you got and still fall flat on your face. That doesn't just go for Will Levis being an NFL quarterback. That goes for everybody. You didn't come here today expecting to get inspirational knowledge, but sometimes you give it all you got. Sometimes you put it all out there and it still just doesn't work out for whatever reason. That sucks, but that's life, as Frank Sinatra used to say. That's life. But I like Will, and I don't think the train came off the tracks because he didn't care or because he wasn't giving it all he had. I have no doubt the guy has a lot of heart. He gave it everything he had. And whether he's with us next year or whether he's with somebody else, I have no doubt that he will continue to give it all he's got to try to get better. And I do respect Will Levis. Finally, going back to the Steve McNair thing, exactly 30 years ago, we drafted Steve McNair. This year, we will draft our next franchise quarterback. And you see the meme there. Now, that is a comparison I can get behind. Listen, it's 30 years since we drafted Steve. And one thing I will say, we have not had a quarterback as good as him since. You understand? We've been chasing the next Steve. Nothing wrong with that, but all I was trying to say yesterday is let's find the one that Steve would be proud of. Let's find the one that Steve would look at and say, that guy's better than me. That's what I hope, and I hope history repeats itself. 30 years after we drafted Steve, let's go find the one who Steve would look at and say, yes, that guy. I'm jealous of him. I love Steve, though. And I hope, if it is Cam Ward, that he surpasses even Steve. God bless you, everybody. Tighten up.